Hey Sapphire, nice job here. I think the background is working out really pretty well. And I like some of the adjustments you made to the hot dog man. So just a few more things. I would probably move him over so it's not so close to that left edge. Just a little bit though. And I would also see about moving this down. I don't know if you have any more of the top. You could also just make it bigger. Then you'd have the negative space up there, and you could put the text more in there, because as the text is now, you really can't read it. I would stay away from vertical text because, again, it's just really hard to read. And let me see here. I think this area is really cool back here too. You might want to make him just a little smaller. He seems to be just a little bit big. I mean, it's fine in terms of the picture plane, but it seems to have a little bit more balance when it's a little bit smaller. I turn the shadow off because I don't really think it's helping. I would go in and look at that tutorial about how to create a cast shadow, and then I would do that with it, because it would look good if there was some kind of shadow. Or maybe you could throw it this way, or make it come forward, because that's kind of the way that the fire would be throwing a light this way. But even though your light's coming from here on the hot dog, so probably make it go back that way. A few things I would consider still working on with these feet. You could try to continue thinking of maybe rotating them, just so they, just have a little bit more personality. So let's say if you did something like this and then moved it over. I mean, you have to erase the bottom part of whatever that thing is. Yeah, you probably could even move it up more. I'm just trying to see what it would look like. And if you didn't have that behind it, I don't think you need this long of a thing, because I'm not even sure what that even is. Yeah, so that doesn't really add anything anyway. So, and then if you wanted to, I think this part's bigger. If you wanted to make the feet bigger, it will appear to have more depth, because it's going to look like now we have some perspective here. Back to beginning drawing with the tools of perspective. And then I would push this one up a little bit. And see, already it's looking like it has a little bit more animation. I'd probably move this one over. Anyway, but the last couple weeks are really about tinkering. Something like that, but we just have to get rid of whatever that thing is. I'm not even sure. Oh, I see. I'm just going to do a real quick eraser job, and another thing you could think of doing is, I can see you've already got the brightness and contrast there. I wonder if it was even lighter. I like doing levels, because it doesn't just make it light and dark, it adjusts some other areas too. So again, these are all just to really play with. But if you do make it a little darker, it will stand out more. And again, now the text is standing out a little bit more, but overall it's just pretty hard to read. But you don't want to get it too light, because it's going to start to look really cloudy back in there. So, but what I would probably do is I would take the background, and I would just make that negative space a little bit bigger. Your background's pretty blurry as well. I would do something, and this is probably not going to look that good, but it's just going to give some more negative space. And then you can put some of the type up here, because if you move barbecue wallpapers, where's your text? There it is. Then if you move some of the text up here, it's going to be a lot more viewable. But you've got something up there too, so I'm not sure what it was. You could get away with doing the masked image. I just wouldn't use the masked image either, just because you already really have a lot of fiery stuff. It's probably not even necessary. I probably would look at adding a stroke, because if you add some kind of a stroke or a glow even, like a light colored one, let's see. Oh, I'm not on the stroke. Here we are. If you add a stroke or something and make it a little bit bigger, you can see what it's going to do. It's going to, oh, I see. You've got a lot of this stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's because of your font, and so it's kind of filling in like that. So that's not going to work. You could try an outer glow. That could work. I would do, I don't know, well, see, you've got light text. You want contrast, so you don't want light on light. You want light on dark, or dark on light. So I don't know. I would just really rework the text personally, because, text, if it's not legible, there's really no point. So let's just see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's a little bit glowy. Let's make it on normal up here. Let's see here. Something like that does work. It kind of looks corny, but I just would redo the text. I think that since you've got so much going on, it'd probably be better if it was just a little bit simpler. And just the other one more thing I would suggest is just making the face bigger still. Let's see where it is. Oh, it's in there somewhere. Where's those peppers? Yeah, I would just make it bigger, because let me link these and do it to both of them. Whoops. Oh, never mind. Just because they're so cool, but they just don't stand out. I mean, you could really even go like this big. It's it's fine, and even you could go bigger with the peppers as well. Let's see. And the only reason I say this is because people, like, when they look at stuff, if it doesn't stand out enough, they won't even look at it. They'll just look at it for a second. So the idea is you just want to grab more attention, because it's really a cool design so far. Okay, so overall, I would still work with the background. I'd work with the text. Definitely work with the legs and give them a little bit more personality. Just move them around and really do some stuff with them. And I would just look at some other options for the text. I mean, you could do something, like put a background around it. Like you could go, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. You could go to the, let's see what we have here. They used to have like a flame one. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I can't find it. So I'm just going to use any shape, but I mean, they used to have a shape, kind of a flame shape, and you could probably download it. Let's see. No, I don't see it. Shoot, darn. So I'm just going to do something really simple, like something like this. So again, if it's a light color, let me make it just a really light yellow. And then make a new layer. I should put it up here. Oh, I'm just going to put it here for now. This is going to look terrible with this shape. But again, if you put some, this is a horrible shape, sorry, it's really bad. But again, the idea is to put something behind it, and then you could make it somewhat transparent up here, so you can still see some of your background coming through. Again, this is just an option, and if you do something like that, don't use that horrible shape. But again, I think it'd be better if you just, put it in negative space of the black. Well, I don't know. Let's see. We could probably make this black too and see what it looks like. Let's try another layer, but I'm not going to. That shape is terrible. Let's just do something like a simple. I would just do something simple. I'm just kind of So again, you know, it's a horrible shape. Again, that's kind of another option for getting this kind of really busy text in there. I'm going to turn this outer glow off. That's another option, even though my work looks really crummy, so I wouldn't even do. I'll turn this thing off. So anyway, you kind of get the idea here. So anyway, overall, really nice job. You know, I think it's really looking really great so far. Okay.